Welcome to the Healing Mile. I'm Carrie, your walking bestie. And by the end of this episode, you're going to start looking at your body through a completely different lens. One that has a whole lot less shame and pressure and obsession, and a whole lot more peace, appreciation, and self respect. And if you've ever stepped on a scale and immediately let that number decide how you were going to feel about yourself that day, this walk is for you. If you've ever looked in the mirror and picked yourself apart, if you've ever promised yourself that once you lose the weight, then you'll finally feel confident, finally wear the clothes, finally love yourself, finally enjoy your life, this walk is for you too. Somewhere along the way, so many of us learn to tie our worth to a number, a weight, a size, a goal, a version of ourselves we're constantly chasing. And honestly, that is just exhausting, especially for women. We spend years believing our bodies are projects, things to constantly fix, shrink, control, improve, perfect. And while wanting to feel healthier, stronger, and more energized is beautiful and valid, so many people are trying to reach those goals from a place of self criticism instead of self care. That's the part I really want to talk about today. Because our body hears the way we speak about it. Our nervous system feels the pressure we put on ourselves. And our lives are happening right now, not 10 pounds from now, not 2 dress sizes from now. So today, we're walking away from punishment, away from all or nothing thinking, away from waiting to love ourselves later. And we're walking towards feeling good, feeling connected, feeling alive in our bodies again, feeling grateful for what our bodies do for us every single day. So wherever you are today, let's go. Let's walk and talk together. Start settling into your pace. Feel your feet meeting the ground beneath you. Notice the rhythm of your body moving naturally. The swing of your arms. The steady movement of your legs carrying you forward. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And slowly let it go. Let your shoulders soften. Relax your jaw. Unclench your hands. And as we walk, I want you to stop for a moment and think. Don't stop walking. Just stop your mind for a moment and think about everything your body has already done for you today. Your lungs have been breathing for you. Your heart has been beating for you. Your legs are carrying you right now. Your eyes have helped you see the world around you. Your nervous system has been processing thousands of pieces of information. Your muscles have been working. Your brain has been helping you think, remember, feel, solve problems, and move through your day. Your body has been showing up for you all day long. And yet so many of us only speak to our bodies when we're criticizing them, when we're unhappy, when we're frustrated, when we think they should look different. Today, I want us to practice something different. I want us to reconnect to our bodies through appreciation instead of criticism, through care instead of punishment, through partnership instead of pressure. Because your body is not your enemy. And the healthier your relationship becomes with your body, the easier it becomes to take care of it in a loving, sustainable way. I think one of the hardest things about diet culture and body pressure is how normal it all became. So many of us grew up watching women criticize themselves constantly, talking about calories, talking about losing weight, talking about being good or bad based on what they ate, talking about needing to get back on track, talking about hating their stomach, their thighs, their arms, their face. And after a while, it starts to feel normal to live in constant dissatisfaction with yourself. It becomes part of everyday life. You wake up, you check the scale, you decide how worthy you feel. You eat something, you judge yourself. You look in the mirror, you search for flaws. And meanwhile, your actual life is happening. Your relationships, your memories, your laughter, your experiences, your peace, your confidence, all while your brain is busy trying to calculate whether your body is acceptable enough. That's a hard way to live. And I think so many people don't even realize how much mental energy they're spending on this. The constant self-monitoring, the comparison, the pressure, the starting over, the guilt, the shame. It's heavy. And here's something I really want to say clearly. You're allowed to want to feel healthier and have healthy goals. There's nothing wrong with wanting more energy, strength, mobility, confidence, or just better habits. This isn't about giving up on yourself and doing anything you want to do. It's about changing the energy behind how we care for ourselves. Because there's a huge difference between I want to take care of my body because I respect it and love it, and I need to punish my body until I finally feel worthy. Those are two completely different experiences emotionally. And our body feels the difference. One creates connection with ourselves, and one creates stress. One creates consistency, and one creates burnout. One feels sustainable, and one feels completely exhausting. I think a lot of us are trying to force ourselves into health through shame. And shame is exhausting. We can only white knuckle our way through self-hatred for so long before our nervous system gets tired. That's why people end up stuck in cycles. And here's how that cycle goes. Extreme motivation, extreme pressure, extreme restriction, burnout, starting over, again and again and again. And eventually we stop trusting ourselves. Not because we're lazy or incapable, but because our goals were built around punishment instead of care. And our nervous system responds very differently to those two things. I really believe healing our relationship with our body changes everything. Because when we stop fighting ourselves all the time, we finally have the energy left to actually care for ourselves. And let's talk about why this matters so much mentally and physically. Our brain is constantly taking in messages that we repeat. The thoughts, the criticism, the emotional tone, the pressure, the stress. And our nervous system responds to all of it. When we constantly criticize ourselves, our body actually experiences stress. And stress affects everything: energy, sleep, mood, hormones, motivation, digestion, inflammation, decision making. This is one reason people often struggle so much with consistency. Their body isn't just responding to food or exercise, it's responding to emotional pressure too. And when our nervous system constantly feels overwhelmed, judged, or pressured, our brain starts craving relief, comfort, escape, quick dopamine, rest. That's not weakness, that's actual biology. Our brain wants safety. And one of the most powerful things walking does is help regulate the nervous system. We've talked about this before, but walking lowers stress hormones. It improves circulation. It supports mood regulation. It increases blood flow to the brain. It helps process emotions, supports better sleep, improves insulin sensitivity. It helps the body release feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. And something else really beautiful happens when we walk regularly. We begin experiencing our bodies instead of just evaluating them. That's huge because so many people spend most of their lives looking at their bodies from the outside, judging them, analyzing them, comparing them. Walking reconnects us to what our bodies feel like: the strength in our legs, the breath in our lungs, the rhythm of movement, the energy afterwards, the mental clarity, the emotional release. And over time, that creates a healthier relationship with movement. Movement stops becoming punishment and it becomes support, release, care, healing. And honestly, that's where sustainable wellness usually begins. Not in obsession, not in perfection, in connection with ourselves. I think one of the saddest things is how many people are missing their lives while waiting to become good enough, waiting to wear the outfit, waiting to go to the beach, waiting to date, waiting to take photos, waiting to feel confident, waiting to enjoy themselves. And I understand that feeling deeply. A lot of us do. But your life deserves to be lived now. Your body deserves care now. Your confidence deserves attention now. Your joy deserves space now, not someday, now. So let's make this practical, because I know some people are listening thinking, okay, Carrie, but how do I actually start feeling better in my body? I think the first thing is this: start paying attention to the way you speak to yourself. Because like I said, your body is always listening. And I'm not talking about fake positivity. I'm talking about respect. Notice how often you criticize yourself automatically. Notice how quickly your attention moves towards flaws. Notice the emotional tone you use towards your body. Would you speak to someone you love that way? Probably not. And if your body has carried you through heartbreak, stress, trauma, healing, loss, work, parenting, anxiety, exhaustion, and everyday life, it deserves kindness. It deserves love. The second thing is shift your focus from punishment to support. Instead of, what do I need to cut out? Ask yourself, what helps me feel good? What gives me energy? What helps me sleep better? What helps my mood? What helps me feel stronger? What helps my mind feel clearer? What foods make my body feel nourished? What movement makes me feel alive? That shift from what do I need to cut out, it changes everything. Because now your health journey becomes about feeling better instead of becoming acceptable or worthy. And the third thing, please stop trying to change your whole life overnight. Your nervous system likes consistency, not chaos. Tiny habits, repeated consistently, change lives. I'm going to say that again. Tiny habits, repeated consistently, change lives. A daily walk, drinking more water, adding protein, sleeping earlier, stretching, breathing deeply, going outside, speaking to yourself differently. Those things matter. Consistency built through self-respect creates far more lasting change than cycles of perfection and burnout ever will. I think so many of us underestimate how powerful simple things are. A walk every day can change our mood, our energy, our confidence, our stress levels, mindset, sleep, and most importantly, our relationship with our body. Not because we're forcing ourselves to become someone else, but because we're finally caring for ourselves consistently. That's the difference. So as we wind down this walk, I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up in the morning and not immediately thinking about your weight. Imagine your first thought being, how do I want to feel today? Imagine looking at your body with appreciation and love instead of constant criticism. Imagine feeling proud of yourself for showing up consistently, for walking, for caring for yourself, for nourishing yourself, and for trying again. Imagine your health journey feeling peaceful instead of punishing. Imagine movement becoming something that supports you emotionally instead of something you dread. Imagine going through your day feeling connected to your body instead of fighting it. And now, imagine how much energy would become available in your life if you stopped obsessing over perfection. How much lighter your mind would feel. How much more present you'd become. How much more fully you'd live. Because the goal was never perfection. The goal was always feeling alive and healthy and connected and loved and worthy and at home in yourself. That's what we're really searching for. And every step you take towards caring for yourself gently and consistently moves you closer to that feeling. So, as we finish this walk, I want you to remember something. Your body is not a project you have to hate your way through. Your body is your home. It carries you, supports you, moves you, feels for you, and experiences life with you. And the relationship we build with our body affects so much more than just our appearance. It affects our confidence, our peace, our habits, our energy, our joy, and our emotional health. So maybe today becomes the beginning of a new kind of relationship with yourself, one built on care, respect, consistency, movement, nourishment, rest, and appreciation, not perfection. And maybe the next time you step on a scale, you remember that a number could never fully measure your kindness, your heart, your resilience, your growth, your healing, your value, your humanity. You are so much more than a number. I hope after today's block, you feel that a little more deeply. Well, we made it to the end of this beautiful walk, and I'm so happy you're here. Be sure to follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode, and maybe share it with a friend. Leaving a 5-star review helps us reach more people and is appreciated more than you know. You'll find helpful tools and resources linked in the show notes, along with an option to support the podcast and help keep it ad-free. And if the Healing Mile has helped you in some way, I'd truly love to hear your story. I'm looking to feature listener stories and conversations in future episodes, so please feel free to reach out using the contact information in the show notes. And don't forget to listen to the Healing Minute. It's a short meditation to help you carry some calm and peace into the rest of your day. As always, thank you so much for walking with me today here on the Healing Mile, and I'll see you on the path again soon.